Hello and welcome to another update video about DOT. DOT is fighting. DOT reached that level that I mentioned in yesterday's video, the $8.34 level, so the basically the resistance. I think I mentioned that I expect a little bit of at least a little bit of a reaction there at 8.34 or 8.87 because it's not only that we have these two Fibonacci, let's say retracement resistance levels there. It's also structural resistance sort of just at that price range around $8.80. The price rallied into resistance. We only have 3 waves up as you can see there. So at the moment, I don't have 5. So 5 would make it clearer, okay? But then again, not much clearer because looking at the bigger picture, all of this could be embedded in a larger A, B, C structure, even if the C wave has 5 waves. Then down. What we need to see to get further clarity about the structure, we need to see a corrective pullback next. Okay, at the moment the move down looks corrective. So again, it keeps the door open for higher. All I want to say is this structure, because we're dealing with an overall diagonal. We're dealing with a diagonal pattern. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4. That the wave 5 could be unfolding, but really to keep it a likely scenario and also to keep this particular micro count valid, well, it needs to hold above $6.52. That's the key level against which I would focus on higher. Better would be if it even holds 685. So a break below 685 would already be a first warning. But it can be at any point that this A wave in yellow, so let's assume the yellow count is playing out, we get one more high. And remember, we always want to see 5 waves to have at least a reliable structure on the chart. If it starts to break down now, my view is we only have 3 waves up. Okay, we only have 3 waves up. All I can really say on this chart is that this is an A, B, C in an A wave. We might see a deeper pullback in wave B. Yes, that would not necessarily be bearish, but it would make the entire chart a little bit more messy. Still, though, I would follow a bullish scenario because it's a bullish market at the moment. So we always need to consider, is the market bullish or bearish, especially in crypto. And then we would have support obviously down here between 439 and 584. But until those last 2 lows aren't broken, I think we can focus on higher in the yellow count. And we obviously have seen a higher low and a higher high. We're in resistance, so that means really the condition is to keep going up in the yellow count. The price needs to hold those lows and that's a very important area to get through, the price needs to break above that resistance range. It's 834 to 887. And break above it would mean that we can probably look towards $10.21 next, which is a new high. Then we've got our 5 waves, or even 1083 would be better. 1178 would also not be unlikely in a 5th wave. So that's what I'm watching for still, as long as the last low is holding. But we are now at key resistance, so expect a little bit of a struggle there. And it's really this pullback now that's occurring right now that is very decisive, because if the pullback remains corrective, it can be a yellow B wave. Now, I cannot really go any smaller with the micro counting. To be honest, it wouldn't also give us much more clarity. But it needs to be corrective. I think that's the thing, because if it's the white count, the C wave is an impulse and we should see 5 waves down, and within the first wave, ideally also 5 waves. So if we can recognize that, then it's likely the white count, but it would still need to be confirmed with a break below those levels. Okay. Let's see if the market can push higher. The problem is on this chart, it's just that this structure to the downside is quite ambiguous, so it's a bit of a messy corrective structure, but the support levels are very clear. The last key levels are very clear, so it can be that even if the structures are a bit ambiguous, the parameters that we need to be watching, they really matter and they are clear, okay? And as soon as we have a 5-wave move to the upside complete, which at the moment I'm primarily still watching for, even though I can tell you that the white count is not unlikely, okay? I only show you likely counts. So we have 2 scenarios. They are both bullish. They are both likely. One is the most likely count, but it's not like, 80-20 or something. No, I think probabilities are fairly even, fairly balanced here. I would still slightly prefer another high just because support hasn't broken. So as long as we are in support, I typically assume it's holding, because we can really only live in the present. Crystal balls don't exist in a technical analysis unless you have someone who's just guessing. That's pointless. So yeah, so I assume one more high for now, but will change my view with a break below the last swing low. And then you have to prepare for a move down to possibly $5.84, $5.19, $4.39. But most importantly, if we get 5 waves up, then we can work with those 5 waves and we can add a support level to the chart. Then here, we call it a so-called 1-2 setup. That would be nice and yeah, much more reliable. And then from here, a third wave rally can really start. That would be pretty much in line with the scenario where Bitcoin could still extend a little higher and then comes down. But bear in mind, also Bitcoin could have reached the top. So again, we talk about correlations in the crypto market. Okay, you can't really predict them really. And it's best to focus on the parameters just of the coin you're trading. But nevertheless, it will depend to a degree on Bitcoin. Not always. So it doesn't, just saying, that's why also we have to have 2 scenarios on the chart. That's my update about DOT. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.